no idea. Alright, now I gotta go back onto the thing and see if it works. If it doesn't end up streaming, then I'll record it and then upload that and send it to YouTube. I would prefer to stream, but if it won't stream, then I can't stream, and there's not much I can do about that. Live. Let me see the live, please. Here we go. Alright, it seems like to be working. Alright. Alright, no. So I want to test a few things specifically. Hey guys. The thing I want to test is quality of mic. I want to have a good enough mic quality. The mic in the controllers isn't the best. This would be better, but the problem with that is that I can't hear you because it's got sound cancelling. Or I can hear you, but it's just hard to hear.
You could do that thing where they pick up the mic and it still goes through that.
Yeah, but the... Oh yeah, I could do that.
It'll have to be close enough to my voice from here.
Yeah, I want to test how good it is. Since I'll be holding it like this, just say things randomly.
Yeah, I was just saying, because that's on the left side of your phone, so it's closer to me as well still.
Right, that's fine.
Yeah.
So I'd say the controller is acceptable quality. With mic quality. Though if this will do... Oh! I know this has better quality, but I don't know how far it reaches. Okay. Hold on, you guys will be unable to see anything. It's not that. Where is settings? I have to go straight to settings from here. Let me do
I
that.
don't like the PS5 thing because I got so used to PS4.
Yeah, the microphone input, use audio output. The TV is that the stream will will redo things, but we'll test how bad that is. Maybe it's able to cancel it out. So yeah, we'll see with that. What's the stream quality like for that? So that's great. So speak, brother, speak. Speak. It's very quiet. It's very quiet. I think we go.
This controller was actually pretty good.
Better. They did update the mics recently. That is something they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did update. And it's built to be, like this, so it has sound cancelling of that.
That's true.
So yeah, I'll turn off that sound. All right, we seem to be able to stream good enough now. All right. Hello. Now that I've done that, hold on. I'm gonna do another thing of telling people that I'm streaming.
Announce to everybody.
Yeah. I am doing the pre-release predictions stream. And
What was his name again?
Lucas. That's you. I am doing the pre-release stream now, Mikey. And then
Oh, yes. That's the group hit.
Alright. So let's see.
Beeline good. God, I look weird.
Alright. Configuration required. The streaming is. Yeah.
Are you lost?
Hell yeah.
Please take this map.
Well, unfortunately. So yeah, that's a problem with avoiding the maps. we'll go through this, and when I upload it to YouTube, I'll look back at the stream again and see what the quality is and what I prefer. So this is the pre-release.
Man, take a man.
This is the pre-release Secret of the Mimic stream. I have a friend here, which is unusual. And he's also going to be here when we play Secret of the Mimic, as well as another challenger that has appeared, that will appear. And this is just me yapping about what I think might be in it, what I hope will be in it, what I'm expecting, and what I'm wanting, and blah blah blah. So I've got a cue. So I have to. I have thought about this prior to this. I will have to do the controls so that I can jump. Alright, it's gonna be what's
Map
going
of the utility tunnels. It looks like there's a security.
Shut
office
up,
nearby.
Gregory.
If I can find another security badge.
So
I can get parts and service.
yeah, first off, it will be streamed at around
There's something here.
whoa.
You walk too close to them.
I will no, because like
Yeah.
you can touch his back, but you can't touch his back.
I guess that makes sense.
The jump scare. So
Hi, please take this now.
yeah, I will be streaming at around 10:30-ish, about that time,
Please enjoy.
and I'll be playing the game for the first time. I know that as of right now,
Utility tunnels.
people are playing the game, specifically Dorko, Corey Kunshin. I imagine Mark probably going to put that early release, but he might be too busy since he's always too busy.
Freddy, there's
But
something here.
yeah, I will be playing it. This is much safer. Never mind. Never yes. The
It's
yeah, this
blocked.
area you just can't get through without
I
jumping.
wonder if there's a way around. Not again.
Yeah, so I've done a little bit of preparation. I made a bingo card, and I would like to talk about the things that are on that bingo card. I'll go get that now, actually. I spent too much time decorating this yesterday. Oh! Too much time decorating this yesterday. And, I'll try to get anything. Oh, I didn't notice that. Look at you got the thing. Oh, it's backwards. Oh, I have to deal with that. I drew some things. Blah blah blah. But on the bingo card, I'll do it in order. I have hanging body. So this could be anything from being like noose to any body that's hanging, right? Next is doggo. Specifically, the doggo costume that Dorko was asked to wear for the FNAF movie, but refused because why would he do that? And if you don't know, there was a charity stream that Dorko did where he showed the dog costume and wore it, and he told Steelwool to put an image of Doggo anywhere in Secret of the Mimic. Glitch Trap costume. I'm expecting to see the original, actual Spring Bonnie Glitch Trap costume, but in real life, obviously, not as a Glitch Trap. Then, one thing, this is kind of a theory, the protagonist being Cassie's father, right? Grandfather, sorry, not father. I don't necessarily believe this. I think it's just going to be a random dude. I know people know who he is now. I'm not going to tolerate anyone saying that, because I want to know for myself when I know for myself. But this, being Cassie's grandfather or father, that's just something that I put on there because it could exist and it could be a thing. Next, William Afton. Not as the protagonist or anything, or technically would count, just William Afton appearance at all. Maybe not physical I think I would count an audio thing from him or a message from him. No, maybe not a message, just something from William Afton specifically. The next is the mimic mimicking a trusted voice to lure us, right? Maybe not throughout the whole game because that was kind of the whole point of Ruin, but specifically at one scene where like maybe Mr. Helper has a voice or something and he helps you, but then the mimic uses his voice to lure you, right? Next is relating to actually. Oh, hold on, mate. I was going to do it. A kind of like how there's a mini Music Man, a mini Maestro Music Man. I think that could exist. The next one is the protagonist deactivating mixes, right? MXES. And then the mimic's free or something like that. That could be a thing, right? Next is also relating to what just happened, a map bot variant. It's just something I put down. We had map bot, then we had mask bot, then we had the bots appearing again in Help Wanted 2. Maybe Mailbot does not count. I remember saying that Mailbot, since we already know it exists, Mailbot does not count. Specifically a map bot variant where they give you something, right? Maybe even just a map bot. Sun/Moon appearance. This ties into a theory that I'll talk about later. Fredbear's Family Diner arcade game. I would like that. That would be cool. Then you have the free space. Then Intelligent AI. This is more so based around the gameplay things. One thing that made me think was the fact that the creators said that they based it around Alien Isolation, and obviously they weren't basing it around, the concept of an alien, since if there's an alien in this, then I'm heavily concerned for the lore. But I think it's rather talking about gameplay, right? And one of the main things about the alien is that there are threats, right? And they're just normal AI threats. And then the alien has a really cool, not super complex, but complex comparatively AI. And I think that would be cool. I think it's a non-zero chance that could end up existing. Stop. Why do you like my... But yeah, that's just the thing. Next is a fire ending. I think it's quite likely that we could get a fire ending. Charlotte Emily appearance. It could happen. I don't think it will, but it could. So it's on this bingo thing. Fall Fest. This is also likely. I don't know if Fall Fest was confirmed to be in it by the people that played the demo. I don't remember it being like that, but it doesn't count if it was a costume. I'm expecting a Fredbear same style as Glitchtrap costume, or just a Fredbear costume in general. Now this is a cool one. Maybe a Massacre audio log, like because we know that this game takes place after about 5 people were massacred by the Mimic, so we could get an audio log or something like that of that, and that would be cool. Edwin audio, right? If we get audio from Edwin, right? Specifically Edwin audio. I don't think the reason I didn't put just Edwin appearance in general is because I don't think we're going to be getting Edwin fully appearing, and if we do, it just doesn't feel like It doesn't feel like there's a good. It doesn't feel like a good enough chance. It's kind of like a weird thing where it's like it's either too likely or not likely enough to put on a bingo card. So it's just not there. But Edwin audio log, I feel like, is in that sweet spot. A moving mannequin. We know that that there are mannequins in the game, but we haven't seen any of them move, to my knowledge. And if one of them moves, we can cross that out. Henry Emily. Anything about Henry Emily, anything from Henry Emily. An Afton child. If any child that has the last name Afton appears,
Are you lost?
I'll cross this one out. David Murray. I don't really know what I was meaning by this one. I think just anything relating to David Murray. And then the other one is Mixis activated, so it actually contradicts the Mixis deactivated. The Mixis deactivated one is that we will deactivate Mixis, setting the Mimic free. Or we will activate the Mixis, trapping the Mimic so that it doesn't get out. But obviously that doesn't work since it does get out. So yeah, that's my big account though. Hopefully one of those things will come true. But yeah, now that I'm done reading off of that, I can actually do gameplay while talking. So one of the things that I was thinking of, one of the theories, this probably other people have thought about this too. I'm not saying that it's unique, but I thought of it myself. But I'm sure people have already thought about it, right? I'm not stealing it off of them since I don't know of any that exist, but I'm just doing it, you know. So this being that it's a good thing I couldn't jump. Come over here, please. More. Yeah, please. More.
Mechanicals is based off.
No, I know what you said. I know
No.
what you said. I'm just saying more, as in more come here.
So this is what you look like inside? Creepy. I like you better with your shell on.
So, yeah, what was I saying? So the theory, right? And my theory is basically that to have some build up around it, specifically with the CEO of Fazbear Entertainment during security breach times. So we know that after Henry burned everything down, Fazbear Entertainment was reopened by someone. And that dude was revealed in Tales from the Pizza Mix. I cannot remember his name. I don't want to go for it. I can't remember his name, but it was revealed in Tales from the Pizza Mix. Let me do it. So yeah, it was revealed in Tales from the Pizza Plex. And that's just the main thing. But so you may be thinking, what's the theory on the CEO, right? What are you doing? And it's that the CEO died in Tales from the Pizza Plex. And Tales from the Pizza Plex happens before, obviously, Tales from the Pizza Plex happens before Security Breach. So who's running Security Breach after he dies? I see, this might be known, I haven't read Tales from the Pizza Plex, but my theory is that the Mimic is somehow the CEO, right? So yeah, my theory is that the Mimic is somehow the CEO. I think this is actually pretty likely. Right, keep moving. Move more. I think this is pretty likely. You saw me. So, I'm kind of focused. Oh, you do know I'm in here. I do you know I'm in here. Okay, so as I was saying, the Mimic being the current CEO of Fazbear Entertainment. Now, obviously, this wouldn't make sense as in, like, it wouldn't. I don't think the other people behind Fazbear Entertainment are aware that the Mimic is doing it. I think the Mimic is mimicking the CEO. Because he did see him, and because he died in the Storyteller, in which is the Mimic, right? So he could very well be mimicking the CEO. I think this because, one, Vanessa was recommended by higher-ups, right? She was not recommended by just a random person. Vanessa has no security qualifications, which is not good for us if you want to hire a security guard. You shouldn't be able to hire Vanessa. You shouldn't be able to. You shouldn't hire Vanessa, but she was hired. It states this in one of the notepads in this game. So, my thinking on this is that the reason why... Oh, hello, Ghost Chat. The reason why the higher-ups are the ones that recommended Vanessa is because the higher up is Glitchtrap, and obviously Glitchtrap wants, rather the Mimic One. Mimic One wants Vanessa to. Mimic One wants Vanessa to be the security guard, because if she's the security guard, then that means that if the Mimic, if sorry, Vanessa is the security guard, then the Mimic can do whatever it wants, right? Because, you know, the Mimic is in control of Vanessa. So, whoever is behind the CEO of Phasma Entertainment knows a lot about and likes the old things that happen specifically in the Secret of the Mimic area. Why? Well, we see a male bot, right, and that is very similar to the staff bot, right? The Maestro Music Man, which is the fan-made name, I think it's fan-made, for the strange music man thing that appears in Secret of the Mimic, that looks like a dead ringer for like a reskinned DJ Music Man. And I think the reason why DJ Music Man is in security reach is because the Mimic is the CEO, and whenever they were like, hey, what do we want to add to the Pizzaplex, the Mimic was like, this thing that I saw, and this thing that I saw ages ago, mimic that.
I found him earlier and locked
and yeah, because I mean, it makes sense if the Mimic saw it, it would want to repeat it, which is why it ended up in it. Obviously, Maestro Music Man came first, and DJ Music Man came after that, and the Mimic is in both of these eras. It's not unlikely, hello Michael, it's not unlikely that DJ Music Man is based off Maestro Music Man, and that's because the Mimic knows Maestro Music Man and was like, oh, I like that thing. So it wanted it, right? So yeah, that's why DJ Music Man is in security breach, as well as the male bot, the staff bots. All of the staff in security breach were replaced, except for Vanessa, with staff bots, right? Likely because eventually all the staff in Secret of the Mimic disappeared, and then all that was left was the male bot, the robotic staff, right? So it makes sense, it adds up. And not only that, but my thing with Sun and Moon appearing is Sun and Moon look like they would be from Secret of the Mimic. And I don't think it's unlikely that the Mimic just either rebuilt Sun/Moon, or they just took the actual Sun/Moon, right? A lot of things from security breach seem to be in Secret of the Mimic, and I think that's why, and that being that the Mimic is the CEO of Phasma Entertainment. The other thing we had seems kind of partially unlikely and dead now. I forgot to save. Alright, hopefully I don't die during this. Hold on. I'm gonna focus. Oh yeah, I haven't saved in a while.
Routine maintenance. I'm functioning much more better now. Grammar function error. Perhaps I am still not at peak performance. Could you, reattach my head?
Happily
I don't
free.
know. It looks complicated.
Just reconnect the wires. And be careful. I am not quite myself at the moment.
In case of an emergency, the protective cylinder will protect important service personnel outside of the protective cylinder. Deactivating animatronic safety protocols now. It is recommended that no mistakes are made during the procedure.
Alright, okay.
To reconnect Freddy's head, repeat the correct sequence by pressing the flashing connectors. Good job. Now use the testing console to run diagnostics and complete the procedure. Good job.
Alright,
Freddy
then.
is all patched up and ready
I'll
for the
save,
big
fuck
show.
this.
You may now
So-
exit the protective cylinder.
Yeah, my other theory was basically that it was based off on the screenshots, and it made me think that there might be like an elevator thing and you're going through different levels and doing it like that, but I have less faith in that now, and I don't think that theory is even worth talking about. As for the protagonist, right, who do I think the protagonist will be? I still can't say. I think it's most likely to just be a random dude. I think it's just probably a random dude.
There's
Though
so much text
I don't think I think Edwin is
Is there
borderline
anything I
impossible.
can use
I
to
don't think
stop the
Edwin
other
will be the
bots?
protagonist. It wouldn't make sense for him to go missing, Fazbear Entertainment, call someone, and then Edwin is the
Where do I
person
get
they
one?
called to retrieve the thing for them. Edwin wouldn't do that. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, really. I don't think Edwin will be the main protagonist. It's not impossible. Well, I kind of said it was impossible, but it's technically not impossible. I just think it's highly unlikely. I also don't think it's going to be Henry.
They go up to Rockstar Row.
Edwin's missing. It literally says in the beginning. One of our contractors, Edwin Murray, has gone missing and has left some of our property in his place.
Freddy, check out these pictures. Chica has some sort of special.
So yeah, I don't think it can be Edwin.
Roxy has
Henry
emails.
is a larger
And
possibility, I would say.
We have to get
But
these. We could upgrade you.
I don't think it's going to be Henry. Simply because whoever is doing this is either just a worker of Fazbear Entertainment that doesn't understand the ramifications of what he's doing by giving Fazbear Entertainment this endoskeleton. And Henry doesn't feel like, because it doesn't feel, it does to me it doesn't fit Henry's character. To if he's the owner of Fazbear Entertainment, why would he be contracting himself and having his own employee brief him about it? It wouldn't make sense. He'd be the one that was contracting himself to do that, right? Why would he have a hand unit brief him? It was the secret of the Mimic fit in the timeline. In 1979, the fourth FNAF 4, it's the earliest FNAF game to exist yet. That's not me theorizing, that's just known fact. I don't want to pick this up. I don't want to pick that up. So, yeah, Henry, doesn't seem likely to me just because also he would know about the 5 people that were killed. He would know about the 5 people that were killed attempting to grab the Mimic. And I don't think Henry would want to risk himself like that. And also, I don't think he would want to continue it knowing that that people were being killed. That doesn't seem to fit Henry's character, in my opinion. So, yeah, the other one is William Afton. I think this is more likely, and I have a separate theory for this. Come on, Pretty. Come on. So, yeah, I have a theory. Yeah, William Afton being the protagonist. I don't think William Afton's going to be the protagonist. But I do think we will have some form of William Afton known in this, right? I think William Afton will make an appearance. Maybe not a full appearance, but he'll be mentioned. My theory, for Secret of the Mimic, is my main thing is I don't want this either. Why do I keep on trying to collect things? Ready? So my thing is, who is... Hey, Roxy.
Get out of my room.
Mimic. That's not what I meant to do. Yeah. Why does Fazbear Entertainment want the Mimic? Current Fazbear Entertainment wants the Mimic for the Pizzaplex because they're lazy, and also And also they just think it would be better for some reason. But why did Fazbear Entertainment want the Mimic in 1979, only for the Mimic to never be used until Security Breach, in which everyone in Fazbear Entertainment was not the people in Fazbear Entertainment at the time of Security Breach? And I think that it's not unlikely. Okay, well, I want to go a separate way, but I guess we'll make this. I was trying to open that again. But... Hello, Vanessa! They fix your AI? Oh, they did! Oh shit, you actually work! Do you have animatronic running sounds? No, Freddy! Freddy! What was I saying before? I can't believe they actually fixed Vanessa's AI, by the way. Freddy.
Did you know that bears like pizza sauce more than honey? It's true. Before their
So,
bears were known to attack
I think the person trying to get William... so, first thing we need to establish. Fazbear Entertainment, at this time, as of Seeker of the Mimic, is owned by Henry and William alone. I don't think anyone else owns Fazbear Entertainment. I think it's just mainly them as well as their employees, possibly. So, out of the CEOs, which would be Henry or William, who's more likely to want to steal the Mimic, since that's what they're doing? They are stealing the Mimic. I don't know about you, but I think the only one that it can really be is William Afton. So I think William Afton is trying to steal the Mimic. For what purpose? Well, that brings me back to this game that we're playing right now, Security Bug, and specifically with the weird and odd Michael room. There's when you get the Faz cam, you can flash an area, and it will open up, and you'll be able to, do the Vanessa, right? And yeah, you're able to do that. You're able to. Oh, Mooney. What was I gonna say? What do I keep on trying to say? I keep on trying to say something, I keep on forgetting it. Yeah, the Michael room, right? Or what it's called. Is the Michael room usually. Where it has that weird code, and it's where you can listen to therapy sessions, and it has, it's Michael's room, right? And that's always such a weird thing, like, why does that exist? Specifically in Security Breach, of all places. And, along with my theory that the Mimic is the CEO, I think that this place exists solely for the purpose of, hey, the Mimic saw it once and wanted to replicate it for some reason, because the Mimic's an AI and is weird and does random shit. So the only way the Mimic would be able to see it is because this house, the room is a house of William Afton's, right? It's William Afton's house. We see this clearly in Midnight Murders, and the fact that, Michael Afton is watching TV in its sister location. We know very clearly that this is the Afton house, and that the fact that the room is in it makes me very well think that, hey, did I say the Mimic is in it? That the room is in Security Breach, and the pizza place that is according to my theory, owned by the Mimic, or ran by the Mimic specifically. Where do we want to go? Multi-golf or Chica thing? Multi-golf. Alright, here, let's see. What was I just saying? Yeah, I think the Mimic has seen the Afton house based on the fact that a room of the Afton house, specifically the living room, is in security breach, which would have been put in there by the Mimic. So the Mimic had to have seen the Afton house. So I believe the whole point of Secret of the Mimic is William Afton sees the Mimic, and similar to actually the Silver Eyes trilogy. In the Silver Eyes trilogy, if you don't know, Henry Emily goes insane and makes robot versions of Charlie. There is a toddler one, a 10-year-old one, a teenager one, and then an adult one. And he keeps on going through different stages of insanity. The toddler one is when he's deluded and purely thinks that he's brought Charlie back to life and it's all happy and nice. The primary school one is where he's gone pretty much completely insane and believes that it's a real girl. It's kind of the same as the toddler one. Then the teenager one is when he starts having doubts about himself and it gets awkward about what he's doing and he begins to realize it's not real. And that's why the teenager Charlie in that book, in the trilogy, is so awkward and weird. And then the adult one is when he fully realizes that what he's doing is insane, and then instead of being comforted by the fact of what he's doing, he's now fully angry at it, and he just pours anger and hatred into the fourth Charlie, right? This relates to the Mimic because eventually, after Henry pours all of his anger into the fourth Charlie and abandons Charlie, William Afton is like, "Can I have a piece of that?" and steals the Charlie and turns it into Circus Baby. I don't think this happened in the games because that would kind of suck, frankly. I think I prefer the idea that Circus Baby was fully created by William Afton. I think there's more evidence for that than what happens in the books. However, I do think that it could be paralleling the Mimic. If we think about it hard enough, you have Henry, who made a robot and beat the shit out of it and poured agony and hatred into it, right? And then you have Edwin's story, where Edwin makes a creation, the Mimic, gets angry at it, beats the shit out of it, and pours anger into it. So, the exact same thing Henry did in the trilogies, it's doing the exact same thing. And we know the step after that, we can say that it's paralleling each other. So we can predict what happens by saying, hey, we know these events happen the same way. The next events could also very well happen in the same way as well. So I think after Edwin poured all the agony into the Mimic, William Afton, using Phasma Entertainment, behind Henry's back, or maybe he was just like, "Oh, don't mind me, Henry. I'm just going to go collect some of the stuff from Murray's." And Henry's like, "All right." And then Afton's like, "I'm going to steal this shit." So yeah, I think William Afton steals the Mimic, and then that eventually he begins to do it. I don't think he turns it into Circus Baby. That's what I'm going to say flat out. I don't think the Mimic is Circus Baby. That would be kind of weird. But yeah, he might turn it into something else. What it would be, I don't know. But I think more so what happens is he gets the Mimic and he's like, "Hey, mimic me," and he teaches it everything he knows, basically putting a full copy in the Mimic of himself in the Mimic. Why he does this? He murdered 10 children. He murdered multiple children. He doesn't think straight. He doesn't have common sense. Generally, you don't murder children. I don't think questioning William Afton's common sense is out of the picture. I think he's kind of stole it and put a basic full copy of himself in the Mimic because he felt like it. Or maybe somehow he predicted that he would die and want to do a whole thing. I don't think. Thing is, I don't really believe that William is a murderer at that point. I think maybe it was the beginning of his malice, like it was the gateway point. But I don't think he was murdering at the time and teaching the Mimic how to murder. I think, if anything, he was just stole the Mimic because he thought it was cool, or maybe that's how he learned to. Maybe he studied the Mimic and learned how to make robots, and that's how he ended up making his own robots. And that's what happens there, right? And then eventually the Mimic mimics him, and then as time goes on, eventually it reaches 1985, and he begins killing kids, and the Mimic is like, hey, yeah.
I heard a theory that his last sister location on the fourth night, where you're in a suit and you have to stop the Springlops from killing you, was one of the Mimic's different costumes. I think it was the nurse
You're referring to Dolly. Yeah, that's possible. I think that's very well possible. That is, I actually do think that's not unlikely. Another possibility, by the way, is that William Afton used some of the Mimic's AI for the Fun Times. Funtime Freddy has a audio Mimic program in him